Manila's early morning calm is shattered. Television screens flash with the headline, "China shocked, Philippines boosts military with Russia." News anchors speak in rapid, urgent tones. Social media buzzes with images of Russian jets landing at Clark Air Base and Filipino soldiers shaking hands with Russian officers. The story spreads like wildfire across Asia and beyond. On the ground, reporters describe scenes at naval ports in Subic and Zamboanga. New Russian-made patrol boats, still gleaming, are docked beside aging Philippine vessels. Soldiers, both Filipino and Russian, train together in joint drills. The message is clear. Something big has changed in the region's balance of power. For many viewers, this is unexpected. The Philippines has long been a United States ally. Russia, meanwhile, is a distant power. Yet, their new partnership is now grabbing world attention. China's foreign ministry issues a terse statement, expressing serious concern and warning of destabilizing actions. This headline moment sets the stage for a deeper story. Why are Russia and the Philippines suddenly working so closely? What does this mean for global politics, and why is China so alarmed? The growing military relationship between Russia and the Philippines marks a turning point in Asia. For decades, the Philippines relied heavily on the United States for defense. United States troops, advisors, and equipment were central to Philippine security. But recent years have brought shifts in global alliances and new uncertainties. Now, Russia is stepping in. The Kremlin sends high-level officials to Manila. Defense agreements are signed, covering arms sales, joint exercises, and intelligence sharing. Filipino generals visit Moscow, inspecting advanced Russian hardware, attack helicopters, missile systems, and electronic warfare gear. In return, Philippine leaders invite Russian experts to advise on military strategy. Both sides have reasons to move forward. Russia seeks to expand its reach beyond Europe and the Middle East. The Philippines wants alternatives, new sources of arms and technology that don't come with political strings. This budding partnership is not just about weapons, it's about reshaping regional security and sending a message to other powers. For everyday Filipinos, this partnership opens new possibilities. It also raises questions. Will this new alliance bring stability and security, or will it pull the Philippines deeper into the rivalries of great powers? Why is Russia so interested in the Philippines? Under President Putin, Russia wants to regain its status as a major world player and challenge American influence, especially in Asia. By building military ties with the Philippines, Russia gains a foothold in Southeast Asia and access to strategic sea routes. It also sends a message to Washington: Russia can compete for influence in America's traditional backyard. Plus, it opens new markets for Russian arms exports, vital for its economy. For Moscow, this partnership proves it can still shape events beyond Europe. For the Philippines, this partnership is about more than just buying weapons. It's a strategic move to diversify security ties. For decades, Manila depended on the United States for military support. Bases, training, and equipment shaped its armed forces. But dependence comes with risks, political disagreements, and limits on U.S. support. By reaching out to Russia, the Philippines gains flexibility and access to advanced technology. Russia is willing to share military knowledge and train Filipino officers. With growing threats in the South China Sea, Manila needs a stronger, modern military. By working with Russia, the Philippines shows it can make independent choices and chart its own path. The Philippine military is transforming fast. For years, its forces lagged behind neighbors in equipment and training. Now, the government is driving modernization through ambitious programs like Horizon 3. This multi-phase plan aims to upgrade everything, from fighter jets, to naval ships, to radar systems. Key projects are already underway. The Air Force is acquiring new aircraft, including Russian helicopters and advanced drones. The Navy is adding modern frigates, missile boats, and submarines to patrol Philippine seas. The Army is getting new tanks, armored vehicles, and smart artillery. Even the Coast Guard is receiving better ships and surveillance tools. Technology is at the heart of this push. Command centers use real-time data to track threats. Soldiers train with simulators and night vision gear. New radar systems scan the skies for incoming missiles or aircraft. The goal is clear: a military that can respond fast and decisively to any challenge. These upgrades send a strong signal. The Philippines is no longer just a junior partner in regional security. It wants to stand on equal footing and defend its territory with pride and confidence. Russia's involvement is, honestly, supercharging Philippine military modernization. Russian engineers are helping install new defense systems at bases in Luzon and Mindanao. The first deliveries of Russian-made helicopters and air defense batteries have arrived in Manila. Filipino pilots are training on Russian simulators, learning to fly advanced craft under all sorts of different combat scenarios. Joint exercises are testing new tactics. Russian advisors are teaching Philippine troops how to use electronic warfare to jam enemy communications. Armored vehicle crews are practicing with Russian instructors, really mastering the operation of new tanks. Russian companies are setting up repair and maintenance centers, making sure the Philippine military can keep its new hardware in top shape. And, beyond just equipment, Russia is providing strategic advice. Its officers are sharing lessons from conflicts in Syria, Ukraine, and elsewhere. Filipino commanders are studying Russian doctrine, learning how to coordinate across air, land, and sea. This exchange of knowledge is helping the Philippines build a more flexible and effective force. With Russian support, the Philippine military can leapfrog years of slow progress. The partnership brings not just hardware, but also know-how and, honestly, a new sense of confidence. This new alliance is, well, shaking up Asia's security order. For decades, the United States and its Western allies really dominated the region, but now, countries like the Philippines are starting to look for alternatives. Russia, China, and even India are becoming more involved in Southeast Asian affairs. Some experts are calling this a multipolar moment. Instead of just one or two superpowers calling the shots, you've got many players shaping events. New alliances are forming, sometimes even across old lines of rivalry. The Philippines' deal with Russia is inspiring other nations, like Vietnam, Indonesia, and Malaysia, to rethink their own security partnerships. The rise of these new powers is challenging the old order. Western influence is being tested as Asian countries seek more choices and, honestly, greater independence. This can create both opportunities and risks. Cooperation might solve problems, but competition could also spark new conflicts. For the Philippines, these changes mean more bargaining power, but they also mean greater complexity and the need to balance a lot of different interests at once. China's leaders are, without a doubt, watching all this with deep concern. The South China Sea is a real flashpoint, with overlapping claims and frequent standoffs. For years, China has used its size and power to push its interests in these waters. Now, with Russia supporting the Philippines, the balance could definitely shift. Beijing fears that Russian weapons and training will make the Philippine military stronger and more confident. This could lead to tougher resistance against Chinese patrols and construction activities. It might also encourage other Southeast Asian nations to seek outside help, which would just complicate China's plans even more. There are wider worries too. China does not want rival powers, especially Russia or the United States, to have a larger military presence so close to its shores. The partnership threatens to undermine China's influence in ASEAN and could even affect its approach to Taiwan. For China, the growing Russia-Philippines partnership is, honestly, a strategic setback. It has to rethink its strategies and consider new ways to protect its interests in a region that's changing really fast. The Philippines sits right at the heart of Asia's most vital sea lanes. Its islands control access to the South China Sea, the Pacific, and some really key trading routes. Whoever holds influence here can shape the flow of goods, energy, and military forces across the region. This geography, honestly, makes the Philippines a prize for global powers. For Russia, it's a gateway to Southeast Asia. For China, it's a barrier and a challenge. For the United States, it remains a key ally and anchor of its Indo-Pacific strategy. The Philippines' choices will affect not just its own security but also the fate of Asia as a whole. Military bases at Subic, Palawan, and Mindanao are being upgraded. New radar stations and missile batteries are protecting vital choke points. Airfields can host international exercises or rapid deployments. The region's future may well be decided by what happens here. As the Philippines strengthens its hand with Russian support, the world is watching. Alliances are shifting, strategies are evolving, and, really, the stakes have never been higher for regional stability and peace.